呢係咩遊戲嚟嘅？我想象中係一個解謎遊戲啦吓，咁但係佢係寫 detective 同 puzzle 嘅，咁但係咧睇啲 review 就話係一個 horror game 嚟嘅。睇佢玩乜先？係咯，玩完煙花之後開第二隻類似嘅遊戲。我通常都玩一隻動作遊戲，跟住玩一隻係唔係動作遊戲。
Carl Faubert sought information for a living. That is to say that ever since he returned from Korea, after having served with the armed forces, he had been working as a private investigator in Montreal. William Hamilton, a rich industrialist, had gotten in touch with him regarding a simple vandalism issue. Nothing to write home about. Not worth hiring a private eye either, just so he can drive for hours on rough roads. But that's how it had always been. The client pays, Carl gets it done.
我檢查係咪 stream 緊先，會驚。其實只要錄影緊就得嘅。係 stream 緊。好。哇咁，你個 mouse 吓？哇，好掂喎個 mouse！我估唔到竟然要降低 mouse sensitivity。平時都係升高。
They had set up to meet at the general store, his client's business. Well, actually, the entire village had William Hamilton's name written all over it. When the roads were bad, muddy, or snowed in, it was customary around these parts to close them off. But it was also customary to ignore those signs entirely and drive there anyway.
A save 嘅系統。
Carl, ever diligent in his work, always carried his log on him, in which he scribbled down thoughts and leads alike during the course of his investigations.
應該睇唔到個 smooth 嚟嘅。點樣 save 咧？應該冇即時 save 啦咁睇 saving inspect 係。
Carl was meeting his client in a store near this area. He was on the right track.
主角係 Kyle 咁講，有冇啲咩隱藏物品要揾？其實
Hamilton never mentioned a road-blocking barrier. Why was it needed here in the back of Beyond? That would, however, be a mystery for another day. Carl had waited long enough for someone to come and raise it. Still not a soul in sight. There was no point in waiting any longer. Carl had to figure this one out by himself.
呢嚿石頭可唔可以用嚟？
Hamilton no doubt knew who managed the barrier. Carl wanted to give him a call, but that would have been too easy though, as sure enough the line was acting up.
我睇下啲 control 先。有冇 zoom 呢個功能？有 shoot 嘅呢個遊戲。IJMFR refocus camera teleport 冇 zoom 嘅，冇 zoom 嘅呢個遊戲。呢個主角嚟啊！攞唔起嘅喎呢啲嘢，收集唔到喎。可以收集嘅呢啲，有啲成個背包放住幾廿公斤嘢嘅人，我有 zoom 嘅，有真係 zoom。我懷疑喺條火車路唔係直行，其實都有其他嘢可以睇。我跟住佢個劇情行下之前。
Emperor Duplessis, in spite of his conservative agenda, did a good job in colonizing the rural north, which helped to re-establish the region as an integral part of the province of Quebec. The blue fleur-de-lys could be seen fluttering in the wind here and there, taunting the red Canadian flags on the other side of the province's boundaries. Emperor Duplessis, in spite of his conservative agenda, did a good job in colonizing the rural north, which helped to re-establish the region as an integral part of the province of Quebec. The blue fleur-de-lys could be seen fluttering in the wind here and there, taunting the red Canadian flags on the other side of the province's boundaries.
果喺現實世界嘅話，現實世界你就唔會周圍綁嘅，正常嚟講。但係佢遊戲有冇啲收集要素就好難講。
Hamilton is waiting for Carl in the general store. It was time for him to get down to business.
咁樣算唔算破壞公物？
William Hamilton enjoyed a lavish country house built in the very heart of the northern forests, not too far from here. The local populace was divided when it came to the affluent man. Some saw a wealthy philanthropist dedicated to improving the region's economy. Others an aging Englishman who would do anything to further his fortunes. And those ones hated him enough to go on about scheming against him. Hamilton had recently acquired a few local businesses, but the last straw was the reopening of a mine, which gave rise to a wave of protests and threats from the Cree people. Given these circumstances, Carl reckoned that a good number of people must be feeling compelled to oppose Hamilton in one way or another. So far, only the industrialist's house had been a target, but soon enough, Carl thought, the target would become the man himself.
Oh, 有 GPS 嘅，你睇到下面。OK。啱啱睇完地圖就撞，咁巧。
Carl needed to get out of there. The cold and the pain required urgent care. Carl wondered how long he would have to endure this skin-stinging cold. The driver had taken off. It was still best to check it out and leave nothing to chance. Carl needed help.
Yes.點用啊？點用啊？係咪直接用咗啊？已經？
It was a small, locked box engraved with the letters WH. Carl thought about taking it. Nothing was to be left to chance. This deep in the country, his last hope was to find an abandoned garage or a farm by the roadside. His life depended on it.
會死嘅咁落去。
The cold was burning Carl. He would not hold up much longer. He had to warm himself.
Close, please.
Even better than he had hoped. Carl Faubert had succeeded once more and was now on his way to new adventures.
差一樣嘢啊！去邊啊？停！唉，着唔到火啊喂！Saving. Alright. 係 survival horror 嚟，其實。我都未明係咩類型。咁好多遊戲都唔可以界定係咩類型嘅，即係而家咁鬼，而家幾千萬個遊戲。會自己熄火嘅，呢度都可以着。我需要做啲咩？冇嘢喎呢度。因為解謎遊戲個偵探嘅能力係同 survival 嘅要素有關，係幾得意。咁睇應該冇路啦。外面條路係封咗嘅，總之。 有啲咁嘅牌喺度，頂佢肺。係咪整架車啊？而家我真係唔知雪地需要用咩裝備喎。嚇？你同我講下點用先啊！而家自己喐緊，cut 先嘅話上下都有黑條嘅，比較明顯。揸住先啊！太大雪啦而家。
Spread out on a few acres of untouched forest, bellowing caribou, everlasting snow, and undefiled lakes. The Manistan region was no tourist hub. It was said to have been populated for millennia by Cree people, and ever since the industrial era, by the metal mining industry. Running on fumes. Good thing that the general store was close by.
Wait. What the hell? Loading screen.
Surrender their divine nectar so easily. In all likelihood, they had to be switched on from inside the store. The milkman had to drive by every week to fill the bottles. The fresh milk indicated a recent visit.
咁喺度咩都 fresh 啦。
Something fell to the bottom of the box.
冇人嘅喎。
Carl had no trouble recognizing his employer. He had been killed. There was no need to be a detective to figure that out. But only a detective could have noticed that the killer had to have been very close, that the fatal blow had been given before the victim even realized.
有隻血手喺上面 ，OK。點啊？
What could be inside that envelope? Carl was taken aback. He knew this address. It was said to be the address of the P.O. box for the Canadian Secret Service. Carl felt a chill down his spine and had a terrifying realization. If Hamilton was dead, then who was going to pay him?
冇理由射死咗仲可以打鬥。Branded cats.
An explosion suddenly occurred outside. According to that log, it seemed like the whole village owed some money to the general store. Carl was far more interested in the bunch of nearby addresses he had just gotten his hands on, though. The snowstorm pummeled everything in its path. Carl was not surprised when he heard no tone. Carl knew that Gilles Lachance was in charge of the general store. That made him one of Hamilton's employees. A very angry employee, as Carl could plainly see.
就係要有電先用得啦。電筒使唔使電？
Amateur hunters showing some pride in having killed a nice pelted beast. With men like this roaming the area, wolves would become extinct within 10 years, Carl thought. A nice picture of the Magasin Lachance store, seemingly taken the day it was first opened. It feels frozen in time, from an era long forgotten. Jumping from that height was akin to tempting death. Perhaps that man on the snowmobile had seen enough of this world already.
Alright. 所以就有啲地址。Punch the price, 2 numbers minimum. Press sell. Turn the crank 2 times. Punch the machine if it doesn't.
The note explained that the garage and the store couldn't be supplied with electricity at the same time. Maintaining his composure, Carl recalled something from his military training. Wolves always stay away from populated areas. Wait, was it about bears? Carl was no electrician, but he could identify a wiring problem when he saw one.
Yukima. What's this?
Carl was used to strange phenomena, but a chunk of ice like this, as if an iceberg came out of the ground, that was a first. Prince? Carl found a surprise at every turn. Was the camera faulty, or was there a possible lead?
What要揾啲咩呢？周圍都有落，唔使揾。我唔知佢點樣攞龍頭呢啲落其實。餐飯。俾動物飲嘅啲水。
Hate was in the air. Seems like some villagers barely tolerated each other.
可以生火。我覺得喺度應該喺度 save 一下。誒有啦，
Staring intently at the controls won't be enough to make that lift budge. The poor thing was out of power.
呢套門會自己閂埋。我咪應該整個火咧，其實嗰邊有路嘅喎。喂！我要 save 一下先。呢個 store 入面有條死屍，但係我覺得最安全嘅地方而家。會唔會熄嘅呢啲地方？我都唔太清楚而家嘅目標係點。目標係點嘅咧？睇個張圖先。哇！嚴重曝光呢度。 總之就冇乜朋，總之就好多敵人㗎啦呢個人。
Carl knew straight away where to find the infuriated Gelashans. Any good investigation would have to start there.
誒，有一個 miss 咗喎。會難撳啊，唔知撳邊個掣。嚟多次。
Amateur hunters showing some pride in having killed a nice pelted beast. With men like this roaming the area, wolves would become extinct within 10 years, Carl thought.
Post key 咪呢度係門外面嗰個。
What was that doing there? Carl wondered. Hamilton must have been determined to keep some information secret to post this key. Shame he got unlucky. Everything made sense now. Poor Hamilton's denunciation was interrupted, and he figured it would be best to lock everything up and send the key to his correspondent, who would receive the box later on. Clever, but not enough. That's what happens to ordinary people playing spy.
佢哋用法文寫嘅呢度，呢個地方。咪着燈啊！
The crowbar was stuck under the lift. Notwithstanding Carl's imposing stature, car lifting wasn't part of his skill set yet. At long last, the crowbar was within Carl's grasp. Surely it would come in handy at some point.
都幾有 detective 嘅味道嘅，都唔係 horror game 嚟。哦，有啲好奇嘅火可以維持幾耐？點樣控制我用緊乜嘢啊？到底310粒子彈啊！
Carl was beginning to know the store and its surroundings like the back of his hand. The seeker had sought.
Hva gjør jeg da?個努力點樣幾時先可以升到最高？
The note explained that the garage and the store couldn't be supplied with electricity at the same time.
因為 off 嗰陣先着到啊！
The note explained that the garage and the store couldn't be supplied with electricity at the same time.
點控制㗎個 equipment？ 真係唔明。 站去邊話？點解唔俾 zoom 呢個地圖？冇病嘅喂。
What could be inside that envelope? Carl was taken aback. He knew this address. It was said to be the address of the P.O. box for the Canadian Secret Service.
點解唔打開佢？我剩翻個信封冇其他嘢。
The plumps wouldn't surrender their divine nectar so easily. In all likelihood, they had to be switched on from inside the store.
佢去邊啊？死啦！我唔記得佢個名，你問解釋下。嚟啊！總之係前世啊！兩條路呢度有。
There should be a law forbidding doctors from falling sick.
點解一個城鎮嘅醫生做唔到嘢，係會由一個咁嘅地方調過去？
In spite of Dr. Beaupre's goodwill, the place didn't look much like a physician's office. It could easily be mistaken for a sewing shop.
點解？ 明，行唔到過去係咪？
For the one-eyed, or for other vision problems, the eye patch was the way to go. Carl got the trembles as he imagined the excruciating pain that kind of scalpel could no doubt inflict. Within these miserable walls, patients probably felt more like in a slaughterhouse than in a doctor's office.
My nightmare. Oh my god.
Someone had lost a few liters of blood here. Carl's first thought had been a lumber accident, someone's hand cut by a saw, or a hunting accident. In any case, whoever had lost all this blood couldn't have gone far. Perhaps they were already dead.
Cái操作咁鬼奇怪嘅呢個遊戲，明真嘅，咪住，冇電池噶嘛，冇電池容量噶嘛。
A chamber pot. Fortunately for Carl, inspecting it wouldn't further this particular investigation. A communist manifesto. Only a few years ago, this type of allegiance meant prison time. And even at present, the Western world was very wary of the Soviet threat. Why would the doctor own such a book? Dr. Beaupre had done his medical studies quite far from here. He was surely one of the first students out of the new campus to settle on the mountainside. Doctors used light-reflecting frontal mirrors to look inside the patient's cavities. That was a bit unsettling, but back then, it was pretty much always the case with medicine.
OK， 就係佢打中小腦 ，Oh my god！
The good doctor, flanked by his beautiful spouse. Pure happiness, captured on cardstock. Carl recognized this woman's soulful eyes. Was it Dr. Beaupre who had hit him head-on at the village border? Nobody kills a rich patient to start a revolution. It didn't make any sense. He had to dig deeper still to understand. Luckily, that was Carl Faubert's specialty.
有咩用啊？冇木嘅喎呢度。點解啊？點解一大堆石喺間屋旁邊？咩嚟㗎？Land 冇咩特別啊，咁就呢間房未入到去，可能死咗入面都話唔定。咪先，唉。我應該去邊啊 ？Hamilton。喂，嗰個 Gilles 個名係咩啊？救命啊！
Great care had to be taken searching this place full of oddities. Everything was important. The decor itself told a story.邊都有間屋㗎，好難轉彎。呢個係咩年代嚟嘅咧？90幾年啦，如果佢話冷戰啱結束，我完全唔知要去邊而家。
我應該睇下，咩攻略之類。睇下攻略先，我頂佢個肺。玩咗幾耐啊？1個鐘。Wow, fuck.
Oh, mon bonhomme! Tu fais là, l'étrange?
Mission.
Je m'attendais pas à ce qu'un étrange retontisse par ici. Moi te dire, je prends plus de chance depuis que ça rôde dans ce bout-là. J'ai ma carabine au bout du doigt, et puis bang, 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 si ça s'approche.
我冇避開，係咪會死嘅？
Si tu veux du linge chaud, parce que t'es habillé comme un gars de la ville, je dirais pas non à une bonne bouteille de caribou. Puis tu pigeras ce que tu voudras parmi mes guinées.
有幾好人會俾我搜佢屋企啲嘢。
C'est encore beau. Tout ce qui est vieilli est bien meilleur. Vois-tu le livre, là? C'est le Wendigo. Ouais, le Wendigo. Un guerrier qui devient un loup pour se venger de sa grosse peine. Et... Tu marches, tu marches, tu marches, tu sens des pieds. Vois que t'as pas mieux à faire.
Il y a change page 嘅喎。
Gomme-moi la belle rose de la tuile, qui se donne au yob sur le mercredi des cendres. C'est-tu pas effrayant, cette histoire-là?
OK。
Ben oui, une couche. Tu peux-tu tout faire en même temps, toi? Touche pas à ça, l'enfant. Tu pourrais te faire mal.
Fruits 可能炸藥嚟嘅。
Hé, la Corriveau, Batèche, ça te passe l'envie de te marier, la Corriveau. Elle tuait tous ses maris, squick, les uns après les autres. Pas de pitié dans le mariage.
我想 save 啊。
Dans mon temps, c'était comme sur l'image. On était vrais, fiers, forts, puis on avait le bon lieu de notre bord.
OK， 係佢嚟嘅。
Ah, la belle pétarade. En 17 que c'était. Et le Kaiser, il se souvient de moi avec ma belle carabine. Bang bang que je lui disais. Bang bang bang. Ah,
1917，咁最多加50年啫。咁而家可能係係喎，佢話佢打完韓戰嘅喎，咁應該係60幾年嚟嘅而家，應該60幾年嚟。
Oyez, 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 il y a un petit gars écarté dans ma maison.
我想 save 啦已經。有 save 唔該。我喺外面兜一個圈再入返去，應該就 save 到啦。 點解佢哋啲屋要起得要隔咁開咧？冇咩理由。有條鎖匙未啊？
Saving. Nom de caribou, puis on devient amis. Sinon, mon petit gars, tu sors avant que je te sorte.
我已經將你成間屋搜索過一次啦。我有 save game 嘅，妖。唔明點玩？喂，點走啊？喂！